Somewhere in Ural Mountains, a machine awaits. It listens for seismic vibrations, radiation spikes, and the silence of command posts. If the right conditions align, it can launch Russia's nuclear arsenal without any human alive to give the order. This is the story of how humanity built a doomsday machine and called it rational. Welcome to the Eagle's View. This is historical and technical analysis for educational purposes based on publicly available information. No classified sources, no insider knowledge. Today we examine the dead hand, officially known as perimeter, not to sensationalize, but to understand the logic chain that led to its creation. Because when you understand why it exists, you understand something fundamental about our current world order. To understand dead hand, we need to start with a word that shaped the Cold War: decapitation. In nuclear strategy, decapitation means eliminating enemy leadership before they can order retaliation. The timeline is brutal. ICBMs from submarines launch to Moscow or Washington, potentially 6 to 10 minutes. Not enough time for leaders to reach bunkers, authenticate orders, and respond. This created what strategists called use it or lose it pressure. If you think a strike is incoming, you have minutes to launch everything or lose the ability forever. The hair trigger makes accidental war more likely. Both superpowers face the same dilemma. The U.S. solution, publicly documented, included Operation Looking Glass, airborne command posts constantly flying, multiple redundant command centers, pre-delegated launch authority to submarine commanders under specific conditions. The Soviet solution went further. They automated the apocalypse. According to publicly available sources, including David Hoffman's The Dead Hand and statements from former Soviet officials, here is what we know about perimeter. If sensors detect nuclear explosions on Russian soil, if communication with the general staff ceases, if certain seismic and radiation thresholds are met, the system activates. It attempts contact with surviving leadership. If none respond, it can transfer launch authority to a relatively junior officer in a protected bunker. Or, according to some sources, it can launch command missiles that broadcast unlock codes to the entire nuclear arsenal. The machine decides if civilization ends. This sounds like insanity, but in the logic of nuclear deterrence, it's coldly rational. Consider the strategic problem. Your enemy believes they can win a nuclear war through a perfect first strike, eliminating your leadership and communications. If they believe this, deterrence fails. Dead Hand solves this. Even if every Russian leader is eliminated, retaliation is guaranteed. It removes any incentive for a decapitation strike. Paradoxically, a doomsday machine can prevent doomsday if everyone knows it exists and believes it works. This is why Russia has semi-acknowledged perimeter's existence. In 2011, Commander's Strategic Missile Forces Sergey Karakaev confirmed to Komsomolskaya Pravda that the system exists and has been modernized. In 2018, military journal Krasnaya Zvezda described elements of the system. They want potential adversaries to know you cannot win a nuclear war against Russia even if you eliminate every Russian. The U.S. has never officially confirmed or denied similar automated systems, though various continuity of government protocols suggest comparable capabilities might exist. In Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove, the Soviet doomsday machine fails as deterrent because they kept it secret. As Dr. Strangelove screams, the whole point of a doomsday machine is lost if you keep it a secret. This captures real strategic thinking. Deterrence requires capability. The system must work. Credibility, the enemy must believe you'll use it. Communication, the enemy must know it exists. Dead Hand satisfies all three. It works, presumably. It's credible, removes human hesitation, and it's been communicated through strategic leaks and confirmations. But here's where it gets truly disturbing. Once you build such a system, can you ever dismantle it? If Russia announced tomorrow we're dismantling perimeter, would anyone believe them? How could they prove it's gone? And wouldn't dismantling it invite the very decapitation strike it was built to prevent? This is the trap of ultimate deterrence. It might be permanent. The machine that prevents the end of the world also ensures the possibility remains forever. Why does this matter in 2025? Because these systems shape every current conflict. When analysts discuss NATO intervention in Ukraine, perimeter is an invisible participant. When strategists plan for Taiwan scenarios, automated response systems constrain options. Every nuclear-armed state has grappled with the decapitation problem, likely creating their own versions of automated or semi-automated retaliation. Recent developments make this more relevant. Hypersonic missiles reduce decision time further. AI integration raises questions about automated escalation. Cyber warfare could potentially trigger or disable such systems. New players, China, India, Pakistan, Israel, North Korea, face the same strategic pressures. The public discussion of limited nuclear use, escalate to de-escalate doctrines, and tactical nuclear weapons all dance around a central reality. These automated systems exist and are waiting. They change the calculus of every major power confrontation. They are why certain red lines truly cannot be crossed. They are the ultimate dead man's switch, ensuring that whoever starts a nuclear war won't survive to see its end. The dead hand represents humanity's darkest insurance policy, mutual assured destruction made literal and automated. It emerged not from madness but from the logic of deterrence taken to its ultimate conclusion. We created machines to prevent wars we couldn't trust ourselves not to start. And now we live with them, permanent fixtures of our strategic landscape, waiting with infinite patience for conditions we hope never arise. This isn't a judgment on any nation. It's recognition of the trap we've collectively built. Every nuclear power faces the same strategic pressures, leading to similar solutions. The dead hand is just the most famous example of a pattern repeated worldwide. This is the Eagle's View. Keep watching the whole sky.